It has been just over 3 decades since the legendary drink Pepsi Cola, a symbol of freedom and a unique lifestyle, appeared on the Ukrainian market. At the end of 2012, the original Pepsi bottle made a comeback straight from the 1980s. We wanted to tell the modern generation about this time in history and also give a little dose of nostalgia for the older generation. So we picked the trendiest things and events that took place 30 years ago and placed them all in our Pepsi time machine. The first step was to switch on the 80s, and those who chose to hop into the time machine had their hobbies and musical preferences retrofied to reflect what was popular in the 1980s instead. We chose today's trends in hobbies and music and replaced them with the trends of the 80s. A fan of tattoos became a pyrography enthusiast. Parkour was replaced with hurdle jumping, and modern gamers and geeks became young engineers, while Lana Del Rey fans now had Lima Vaikula listed as their favorite singer. We continued our journey into the past, 1991, 1990, 1989, up until the year of 1978, the year in which Pepsi Cola made its debut in Ukraine. With each year, we nostalgically recalled all those landmark events that helped to shape the spirit of the 80s. For true experts of the 1980s era, we organized a quiz that was based on the popular 80s game show What, Where, When. The next part of the journey into the past was a laboratory where one could get a makeover into an 80s fashionista. Looks with 80s style hair and accessories were added to all photos of users that visited our photo booth. Users were transformed from normal to funky in a matter of minutes, with a complete 80s look. After going through all the stages of retrofication, guests gained access to the last of its kind 80s universum that carried assorted deficit goods. Going further back in time, we opened a New Year post office where anyone could send greetings to friends and family straight from the 80s. Just like 30 years ago, when people still remembered the taste of stamps, a vintage-style greeting card was developed online, then printed and sent to the addressee with a congratulatory greeting for the upcoming year 2013. The Pepsi Cola time machine worked for 2 months and brought back to the 80s more than 110,000 people. Each of the guests visited the promo site an average of 22 times, spending on average about 7 minutes in the 80s era. Finally, something unprecedented for the 80s, the Earned Media Index had reached 3 million contacts. By looking back into the past, we realized that the gap between modern times and the 80s is not so great. It has been over 30 years, and Pepsi is still with us during the most thrilling and epic moments of today, because awesome things never go out of style.